At the moment you remove this plus, you can see it says that there is no ID with this name called image view. So as soon as you add a plus here, things change. So what exactly is the difference between not having a plus and having a plus? Now if you declare an ID like this, so this means that there is some ID already declared by the name of image view, and it is referring to that ID by this assignment. If I say plus, now if it is not able to find any ID, any resource which matches this as the ID, then there is an error, as we can see we are already getting. So if there is an ID by this name, there is no such error. But if it is not able to find any ID by this name, this error is bound to come. But when you say @+ so this instructs the system to create an ID by this name in case there is no existing ID by this name. So the moment you say plus, it will find an ID by this name. If there is no such ID, it will create one and add that to the r.id class. So how do we create an ID ourselves? So let me remove this plus and see how we can create an ID ourselves. So what I'll do is go to this item, name is what is the name here? Image view. And since we need to give it a type which is ID, so you can declare any item, give it a name and a type, and this will now be referred by this image view. So when you declare an image view with an ID called image view, it will be able to locate this in our values file and there is no error. Let's rebuild this. So now you can see the Gradle build, it finished successfully, there is no error. So what exactly happens in the case of ID is, if you don't give a plus sign here, then this ID needs to be declared beforehand. And if you give a plus sign here, even if this ID is not existing, this ID will be created. So this is how this works. And let's go back to our folder. Now we've seen how to create a string, a dimension, a color, an item. Let's see how we can create a string array. And we can name this, say, cities, and then you can add items to this, or let's add some city names to this, say New Delhi, New York, so this is how you can create a string array. You name some, give the array some name, and you can add elements to the array by defining an item for each member of the array. Now we'll shortly see how we could call this array within the activity file or the Java code. And you're not limited to string array, you got an option, you can create an integer array, and you can name anything you wish, say constants, and then you can add values to this. So very similar to how we created an string array, you can create an integer array. So hope this clears how we can create resources, why exactly you should create resources, and how we can use these resources within the XML files. So now next we'll see how we can use these resources directly in the activity file or the Java code.